Hello, I am Daniel Dargis, engineer at Construction, Daniel Dargis. Today, here is the second video on the theme, how to find work, a job, or to do business in the field of construction in Quebec, Canada. For workers, carpenters, masons, you come from another country as a plasterer, or for professionals, engineer, architects, draftsmen, or building specialists in the field of construction, or also for companies that want to go into business and find customers, open an office in Montreal and do business here, or even settle permanently in Quebec and Canada, as much for workers, professionals as for companies. So here's therefore the second video on the subject of advice or the second stage to take into consideration when you want to come to Quebec and Canada to do business or find a job, work, or also to start up a new business. So in the first video, I already said quite clearly that if you are a worker and therefore it was limited especially to workers, I did not talk about companies, I did not talk about professionals, engineers, or even architects, or professionals in the field of construction. I especially talk in the first video about the workers. I mentioned in the first video, as a reminder, that it is important to contact the CCQ, the Quebec Construction Commission, and also an immigration officer to do all the paperwork and do all the necessary and make several trips. So, that was the topic of the first video, to give you a quick reminder. Now, in this second video, I want to talk more in particular about the marketing process. We think marketing is only limited to businesses. However, here in Quebec, in the 21st century, marketing, image branding, communication skills, well, it's for workers too. It addresses itself as much to professionals, engineers, architects, designers, drafters, and all the professionals of the construction sectors as it is of concern to companies. So what do I want to talk about exactly? If you come from another country, okay, I want to make the link with people who are from other countries and people who are here in Quebec, Canada. So if you are from another country, then you have to expect that marketing is very important, meaning that the way you do things in your country, in your culture, by your customs, the way you do business and so on, is not always the same as in another country, and more specifically here in Quebec. There are plenty of laws here in the construction field. There are a lot of things that we do here in Quebec and in particular way. There are specific construction techniques here that must be taken into account. So do not expect that the way you are doing things in your country could be 100% applicable here in Quebec. It can become an asset eventually, an innovation even, but it can also be something that you will have to transform because otherwise it will not be applicable over here because of the climate, specific construction techniques, material use, and ways of working. Therefore, marketing must of course be done in harmony with the local culture you are targeting. So in Quebec, it is important to have a mentor, a consultant, or an advisor at your disposal who will give you valuable and precious advice on how things are done in Quebec, in Canada, so that you can adapt your situation to what you have to offer to the local market. It is a monumental mistake, as I mentioned, to think that the way you proceed in your country is also applicable over here, hence the importance of being well advised. For workers, you know, sending CVs or resumes over the internet, please, we are now already in the 21st century. It is all too easy to send hundreds of emails with lots of CVs and resumes. Do not expect it to give good results. Personally, I would not advise you to proceed this way. Even for businesses sending out pamphlets, brochures with business cards, this is not the best way, I think. I will explain to you in the few minutes exactly what to do. So sending CVs or sending brochures, it's a technique all right, but not a very productive one. What works, especially today in the 21st century, already well advanced, it's LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Even if you are a worker, if you are a carpenter, a mason, a plasterer, a plumber, or electrician, please, if you want to come to Quebec, you should be willing to show what you can do in your country, what you are doing right now. So, start right now to take pictures, to make videos of your project, to show what you do, show that you like what you do. Develop an attractive and professional Facebook page, not a personal one. That's for your own use. Create a professional Facebook page, whether you are a worker, an engineer, or an architect. Show the experience you accumulate through your current achievements of every day. Take pictures of them, for sure with some confidentiality, with respect of copyrights, of course, but show if there is a possibility to demonstrate to others what you can do. In Quebec, it is not obvious that you are able to do this or that. People want to feel, people want to be shown concretely what you can do. Best of all is that you would make videos and feed them into your professional LinkedIn and Facebook pages. All the things you make, the professional activities you carry out, whether you are a worker, a plaster artist, for instance, or maybe you have done some great achievements as a builder in your country, or perhaps also some beautiful work done as a mason where we can see you at work, things like that. So this strategy can be used by workers and by professionals. Perhaps you have design plans. Maybe you have worked on big projects. Show them in your catalog. It's your professional portfolio. So, show it. Create a professional Facebook page. It's free. It costs absolutely nothing. And for those who want to go a little further, you can develop a website. Show that you are proud of what you do, that you are good at what you do, that you are effective, and that you want to share all of this and collaborate in a company here in Quebec, in Canada. There are plenty of things you can realize by creating these professional Facebook and LinkedIn corporate pages, and of course, by creating your own website. And also, get advice from me eventually. I have a business myself through my website businesstripcanada.com. But get advice, even if it's not from me, from someone else then, a local professional for instance, to see if what you are doing is well adapted to the local market. So the first thing to do for your success is your professional marketing, whether you are a worker, a professional, an engineer, or a business. So marketing is very important, much more than you may think. The second issue to be considered once you have created your website, a professional Facebook and LinkedIn page, with your catalogs, photos, achievements, and comments, is a business card. It's not just used by companies, you know. Again, I repeat, a business card can also be important for any professionals or workers. You arrive here in Quebec. Maybe you are not yet an engineer or architect in Quebec and you want to collaborate in a company. You have a lot of experience as an architect, maybe as an engineer in your country, or as a draftsman, or you have a lot of experience as a carpenter, as a bricklayer. Have a small business card printed for you at your disposal. A business card is a lot less intimidating than showing a whole resume of your professional activities, and it's much easier to read specialists in architecture or expert in building structures. You can do AutoCAD drawings or other tasks as assistant. You cannot authorize perhaps plans yet, but you can collaborate. A business card sends a strong message. It sends a message to the company in which you want to work as an employee eventually. Look, I am available part-time. Put yourself a business card on which you write your name and complete contact information with your local phone number. not the phone in your country. Add your website. Put your local address in Quebec. Show that you are not afraid to mention where you live. Make yourself available. Have an email. You may have a YouTube channel, a professional Facebook page. Put all of this on the business card so that is available and easy to access. Not a resume with lots of text, but rather a business card with beautiful colors, with a nice logo, a website, a professional Facebook page, LinkedIn, a YouTube channel that show best what you did. Then give it to the company when you are looking for a job or looking to offer your services or a product. Show that you are available in part-time way. Part-time, that means not full-time. Why? Because here in Quebec, salaries are very high. I will give you an example very quickly, and you will understand it all. A carpenter costs a company, a carpenter I say, not an engineer, a carpenter, not a physician, a carpenter, a plasterer, a plumber, a worker, an electrician. Well, a carpenter in Quebec costs a business about $55 per hour. If you calculate the salary of the worker, his vacation pay, more all the other contribution for its worker, it rises about $55 per hour. I do not know if you quickly calculated $55 per hour, which is the cost to the business annually. Well, I'll tell you, $50 per hour, 40 hours a week, is more than $2,000 per week. 50 weeks a year, it's more than $100,000 a year. So every year, a master carpenter, man or woman, costs a company about $100,000 a year full-time. Do you think in a company they make tens of millions of dollars per year? Of course no. Often in small businesses, the owner-president works himself with tools. Often you go see the president, the owner of the business, while he is working manually because he cannot afford to pay so many workers. And secondly, he cannot afford to hire them full-time. So with a business card, you send the following message. Listen, I am available temporarily. If you need me for a project, call me. That's how you will manage to enter into a company. This is how you will make yourself known. Well, call me. We will try a day or two. You will see what I can do. So immediately, for accessibility, communication, the marketing is very different. In this second video, I try to explain particular realities of the local market that may not exist in your country. Maybe in your country, a company can afford to have 10 or 20 workers, whereas here in Quebec, they can only afford to have 2 or 3. Therefore, workers must be much more productive here. So all these realities mean that the way of presenting yourself, of selling yourself, of seeing yourself is totally different. Certain individuals are successful and others are less because the communication is not the same. So I repeat, first, the website, a professional Facebook page, LinkedIn. Secondly, the business card. And thirdly, well, find yourself a mentor, a consultant, an advisor, someone on site who has a lot of experience in the business. I myself do that in the field of construction, for instance, to give you advice, valuable tips on how things are done. I am an impartial advisor informing you about the market, the construction industry, investment opportunities, and more. d'informatique. Il y a toutes sortes de choses, là. Par exemple, moi, j'ai un bon ami qui est venu de l'Algérie, il était architecte dans son pays, puis là-bas, il utilise le logiciel Archicad, alors qu'ici, on utilise plus AutoCAD. So these are all the important issues you'll see. There are software differences or tools issues because here in Quebec, we are more into wood structures for residential building. It's good to have a consultant who will suggest you to go to a particular school or to tell you, here is what you have to do to find a job marketing-wise. So try to have a consultant or mentor. Voici ce qu'il faut faire pour trouver un emploi côté marketing. Donc, ayez un conseiller, un mentor. Donc, comme troisième suggestion, comme troisième conseil que je vous donne là, dans le cadre. So, as a third piece of advice I give you in marketing, have someone who will advise you on what to do to improve your web page, feed it with good videos, photos, comments, to create a business card, have a place where you can come to before going back and forth between Canada and your country for a few days or weeks to be able to make contacts in the meantime. So have a mentor to help you on this journey. I myself offer it through video conferences before your trip. Then afterwards, I organize with you exploration trips. I help you in all your initiative, of course, with contacts to get to know other entrepreneurs, businesses, professionals, or workers who will explain to you how they operate and how things are done here. So that was my presentation this time, my second video on the importance of marketing to succeed, whether as a construction worker, a professional, or a company to do business, get customers, offer products and services. Do not hesitate to contact me. I am Daniel Dargis, engineer at Construction Daniel Dargis. I give advice. You can look on the website business-canada.com. Plenty of information with several videos. I invite you to contact me for video conferences online and also for the organization of business trips, your business establishment, your career, and your business initiative in Quebec, Canada. Thank you and see you next time.